The juice is loose.
What made Beetlejuice wait 30 years to take revenge on the Deetz family? After years of development, Beetlejuice 2, the highly expected follow-up to the 1988 smash blockbuster Beetlejuice about the Deetz family, has finally gone into production and will be released in 2024. As fans, you must have waited for 30 years to see this movie made, and now you must be thanking God that finally, some good sense has prevailed on the makers to release the second part this year. Expectations of a cult classic movie sequel are always pretty high, and hopefully, Beetlejuice, also known as Beetlejuice 2, will keep up with the anticipated hype. It's been a while since audiences saw the ghost with the most hype in the 80s, and now, finally, it's arrived. Beetlejuice is finally coming. If you remember, Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton both landed career-defining roles in the 1988 smash, which combined horror and dark humor with Tim Burton's distinct visual aesthetic. Also, some of your favorite Broadway musicals, several video games, and an animated series all got their start from Beetlejuice. It seems Beetlejuice really is a legendary property in terms of its creative input. After all, many new things have been developed from this movie alone. Since the movie's release, there has always been demand from the audience for a sequel, and it never bothered the makers until the early 2010s, after Seth Grahame-Smith was engaged in 2011 to write the screenplay for Beetlejuice. The sequel languished in development hell. Back in 2016, Tim Burton declared that he would helm Beetlejuice 2 under the right circumstances, but that announcement was abandoned. A more recent update on Beetlejuice concerns Mike Vukanovich, who was brought on board to rework the script around the end of 2017. Later, in March 2022, it was revealed that production on the follow-up was supposedly being overseen by Brad Pitt's company, Plan B Entertainment, with Keaton and Ryder returning as Beetlejuice and Lydia, respectively. Finally, after decades of excitement, Beetlejuice is happening. Michael Keaton is one name you will never forget if you have seen the original Beetlejuice in 1988. That was the kind of impact his performance as Beetlejuice that even now, nobody can forget him. Just looking at his photo back then must have sent shivers down your body. And that's how he broke all of our hearts with his performance as the baddie in Beetlejuice. So now, many of you will expect him to be back after these many years in the sequel. And, of course, there will be excitement about the new cast members of the upcoming movie. In fact, there are surprises. As mentioned earlier, just the photo of Michael Keaton is enough to send shivers down your body if you have seen the original Beetlejuice. In fact, the audience were captivated and in awe of Keaton's performance. Expectations are high for Keaton's comeback. Then, wait till the names are discussed to know the cast of the sequel. The cast of Beetlejuice needed Michael Keaton's comeback more than anything else, but the group for the sequel is coming together rather well. Following considerable speculations, it emerged that Jenna Ortega's character is Astrid, Lydia's daughter, and that she will have arguments with her parents in a manner similar to how Lydia did in the past. It is hardly shocking, in light of that information, that Winona Ryder will be playing Lydia once more. In Beetlejuice, Catherine O'Hara also comes back as Lydia's fashionable mother, Delia Deetz. The returning cast members will be joined by a number of well-known figures. Willem Dafoe, a former B-movie actor who works as a detective in the afterlife, will be joining the Beetlejuice cast. Monica Bellucci is set to play Beetlejuice's wife, but specifics are unknown, while Justin Theroux is set to play Rory. But then there's some bad news to break your hearts too. Sadly, Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis, who played Adam and Barbara Maitland in Beetlejuice, will not be making a comeback. Sometimes mysteries in real life and also in real life are interesting, and now the story of Beetlejuice is also shrouded in mystery. Now, As fans, you must unlock this mystery or wait until the release day and catch it on the very first show to know the plot and story of the movie. Or else, you must have at least second-guessed the plot from the intriguing teaser itself. Is it a mix of the old and new? Many say that the Deetz family is returning, while many others say it's a new family that is visiting the town of Winter River. What do you think? Since the project's official announcement, Beetlejuice has remained a mystery, with only a few narrative points being disclosed. Nonetheless, the complete storyline for the 1980s legacy sequel has been unveiled alongside the first teaser trailer, and it features an intriguing blend of the old and the new. The Deetz family returns to Winter River due to a family tragedy, and Lydia's rebellious teenage daughter, Astrid, is about to accidentally release the notorious bioexorcist, much like her mother did. To put it simply, the official synopsis of the movie is the Deetz family returning to their old house after a loss. Lydia's rebellious daughter finds a hidden model town and accidentally opens the door to the afterlife. That means get ready for trouble. Beetlejuice is coming back to cause some more chaotic fun or maybe mayhem. But that will be found out on the release date. Some say Michael Keaton has reincarnated, and then some are of the opinion that he is dead. And the makers are just teasing his character in the trailer. Many fans are unable to believe that the sequel is coming up after 30 years. After waiting for many years, many thought that the sequel would never be released. But then, like a dream, it has finally happened. Recently, the teaser for the upcoming part was released, and it surely has brought a lot of excitement and expectations among fans. Maybe you are one of them. A full teaser for Beetlejuice has been released, marking the latest development in the years-long wait for the upcoming legacy sequel. Chances are, as die-hard fans of the movie, many of you guys must have already seen it. Soon after, pictures from the upcoming Tim Burton movie started to circulate. In the first Beetlejuice trailer, Warner Bros. Released Beetlejuice. The brief teaser does not contain much in the way of story or plot details, but it does feature the return of several original cast members, with even references to a few elements from the original. Above all, a quick cameo by Michael Keaton's character bears witness to one of his most famous catchphrases. As mentioned earlier, Winona Ryder, reprising her role as Lydia Deetz, opens the eagerly expected trailer by cautioning spectators that it is unsettling. The Deetz family is then depicted following Lydia's father's passing. Astrid, Lydia's disobedient daughter, discovers that Beetlejuice exists and unintentionally calls upon the notorious bioexorcist and the many forces that are trying to harm him. As mentioned earlier, the movie was supposed to be released this year, but now there's a small hiccup with the release date due to certain issues. The Juice of Beetles, September 6th, 2024, is the date of Beetlejuice's release. The SAG-AFTRA strike, however, caused a brief delay in the film's production. It's uncertain how this will impact the release date. As you all know, the original film was released over 30 years ago. This long gap means the characters of the movie must have also grown and undergone a lot of changes. Maybe some of them are even dead. None of us know that. What's taken place between Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice 2 is still worth thinking about. Now, the sequel has, in fact, a lot of catching up to do. Agree or not, but that is the reality. Although Lydia was only a teenager in the first Beetlejuice film, she will be in her 50s in the sequel. And during that interval, she gave birth to a daughter, who Jenna Ortega will portray. Given that Ortega has established herself as the standard moody horror hero, it's likely that Lydia's daughter will resemble the teenage Lydia. In Beetlejuice, Monica Bellucci will play Beetlejuice's wife, and it looks like they've been married for a time rather than just recently. The bioexorcist had been searching for a bride since 1988, so it's unclear how long they've been married. Although it may have been shortly after the events of the first film when they got married. You guys must have almost forgotten Tim Burton. Burton is one person all the fans have to thank after it was his efforts that led to the making of the sequel. If you've seen the teaser, then you know that Burton, in his old age, has still been able to retain the charm and mystery of the original movie. Keep in mind that Tim Burton is never to be forgotten. Rather, he is to be remembered always. Burton was allowed a great deal of creative freedom to work on the sequel to the movie that launched his career. As a result, the well-known director has been nothing but kind about the new picture, even hailing it as a return to his best work following less fulfilling projects. Although it is well known that Burton was not happy with his work on the Disney adaptation of Dumbo. He seems even more excited about Beetlejuice. Tim Burton expressed his enjoyment of making Beetlejuice 2. He spoke on how he decided to focus on the core elements of filmmaking, working with talented people and actors, and using puppets. This approach, he said, reconnected him with the reasons he loved making movies in the first place. Hopefully, fans will be satisfied. Do you think there will be more upcoming movies in the coming years in the Beetlejuice franchise? Do share your views on this in the comment section. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel. And do not forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Goodbye.